everybody. Happy Tuesday to you. It is Cinco de Mayo, so if you have your margarita, look at that. Pretty cool. See my microphone on my background. Isn't that nice? Here's your host, Lee and Patty, and I should take that off of mine because she's on her computer. But she's sitting close, so she's going to run over here to, if she need be, to say things. So she's literally right there, but when we got the microphones on, it echoes. So sorry, guys. We have special guests tonight, Paranormal Gurlz and Tim. Look forward to talk to them, meet them, and it's all things creepy, right? So we're going to talk all things creepy. I hope everybody's had a wonderful week. We do the show now. It's every 2 weeks on Tuesday nights. And you can find us here if you're watching on YouTube on our Paravisions Paranormal Society channel. Please subscribe if you do not mind, and we will follow and do the same back to you on YouTube. Or you can follow us on All Things Creepy with Ghostly Travels here on Facebook, where we're live now, or my personal page, Lee Allen the second. But we're honored to have you guys. We look forward to a good show tonight, and we talk for about an hour. We have a good time, and nothing crazy. We like to just sit back and enjoy. So yeah. So I noticed that there was booze on the Battleship 2 was this past weekend. And I saw a lot of our friends that I have on Facebook was there, and it looked like a good time, and I hope it was a success, and everybody had a good time and made some great memories. And I hope that they had a lot of traffic. That's one of the things that I see wrong with events most of the time is the marketing strategy. It's not there all the time, and it's just normally the ones that that I've been going to, and I've been doing this for 30 years, is it's mainly 5 or 6 people walk through the door, and vendors just are there to have fun and catch up and buy each other stuff. You agree?
I agree.
She agrees. Our cat's over there. That's why Pat's Duchess. But coming up, Parapsychon 7. There she is.
I am really right next door.
See?
Yes, I do agree.
And knock on my door.
I'll be trying to man the chat a little bit more than I usually do. So
right. Yeah, so she'll be taking care of that as well, guys. So if you have any questions, if you want to ask our guests when they come on here soon, feel free to ask questions. Let's get to know each other. Hey Jake, how's it going, buddy? See you in a couple weeks, my friend. And we're looking forward to that. So Parapsychon 7 is coming up May 14th through May 17th, and that's at the Mansfield Reformatory here in Mansfield, Ohio. That's a good time, isn't it? So I look forward to that because we'll be there. We're going to go up. I'm sure we will. And I know Jenny Davis is coming, so she's probably watching. If not, we'll be there. No, she's probably not because she just had surgery, I saw today. And everybody in the paranormal loves little Jenny. And we will be the weekend of Memorial Day. We will be in Pennsylvania. And that's the Entity Explorer crew. We'll be there doing some filming for one of our next episodes. And that's going to be, where is that going to be?
I don't know that we're revealing it.
I don't think we're revealing it yet. No.
So. I think it's top secret for now. Yeah. But the best part is that while we're there, we will get to see some of my family.
So right. They're gonna meet up with us?
Yes.
Cool. And so we're going to be there on Saturday, whatever date that is, the 23rd through the 25th on Monday. So that's going to be fun. So yeah, we look forward to it. Let me get in here and say hi to everyone. Where is my mouse? My mouse wants to play games. There it is. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. Guys, and join us if there's anything that you guys would like to ask the guests. Feel free to chime in. We appreciate all your support. We love coming on here. You know, we've been doing podcasts now since what? 2013, maybe, and it's fun, and it's about networking and getting to know other people in the community. And it doesn't have to be just paranormal. It can be, I mean, well, it can, but not just ghosts, but Bigfoot, anything related to the paranormal or anything creepy, right? So yeah, we'll definitely we would love to have you. We're also booking through the summer, guys. So if you know anyone that would like to be a guest on the show, please please reach out to one of us. We would love to talk and get them on the show for future. Also, we our show goes on Spotify, so that's where you can watch this as well, not just YouTube or Facebook. Yeah. So, what do you think about just inviting the team in now? 10-4, good buddy. Okay. Hello there. We are going to bring everyone in. We have
Hello.
Brenda and Tim. Tim's name stands out for the whole name. I love it. Because when I was
Yeah.
putting on the banner, I was like, I love this. I love this name, guys.
Yeah.
Paranormal Gurlz. I like how you said girls. And Tim. You know, it's like, and Doug, Liberty Mutual. You know, the, what's the,
Yeah.
Liberty, yeah, and Doug. I love that. How are you guys this evening?
We are good. Thank you so
Good.
much for letting us on your show.
Absolutely. I chimed into your guys' show the other night. I did not know you did a podcast. I saw it and I was like, wait, yeah, let's chime in.
Yeah.
So how long have you guys been doing the podcast?
We started a series called Deep Dive Haunts back in January,
Okay.
which is where we go over investigations that we've done
Ooh, nice.
and like relive those investigations. And then that was to run out in April, and that's when we Deep Dive podcast started. But we had so many people that wanted to be on the show that I ended up bumping it clear up to like the middle of February. So we've been doing Deep Dive podcast since February. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
So, you know, speaking as you're doing podcasts, what made you want to do one?
We were well, back when it was just Paranormal Gurlz, I was on a podcast with Paranormal Musings podcast.
Okay.
And it was really fun. And he was like, what do you want to do in the future? And I'm like, I want to start my own podcast because I just think it would be great, you know, to talk to different teams and learn about them and locations and stuff like that. So he's like, do it. So then I just decided that starting out, you know, we would do where we relive the investigations on, you know, a weekly basis. And then once we were getting caught up there, it's like, well, now what else can we do? So,
right. Patty put a little question in here, and she goes, I was just going to ask, which came first, Paranormal Gurlz or Tim?
Paranormal Gurlz came first.
Right.
In 2024.
Okay.
We had went on an investigation. Tim wanted to go to Edinburgh. So he was like, does your team want to go with me? And I was like, let me talk to him. So then we went. They loved being with Tim because I'll let him talk in a minute, but he is so knowledgeable and a lot of experience.
Right.
That, you know, just starting out, who can learn, you know, who would you want to learn from? Somebody who's been in it a while.
Right.
So then, you know, he's just been with us, and I just decided to go ahead and add him in on the name this year. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But I'll let him talk for a moment.
Yeah, what? How are you doing, Tim?
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Thanks for letting me be
Good,
on your
good.
show. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah,
So, Tim, I've been a ghost hunter now for 14 years, paranormal investigator, however you want to say it.
right.
So I've been to a lot of places. I worked with another group prior to doing this. I worked with a demonologist for a long time, and now I'm an ordained minister, so that helps out as well. But I've been doing this a while. The other team I was working with all split up. They moved to different parts of the states. One in Florida, Ohio. I mean, they Arkansas. So we kind of disband. So once a year, I would go visit them, go ghost hunting with them in Ohio. And then this came up, and Brenda started her own group. And I thought, well, I got to go to Edinburgh Manor. I go by myself, I have to, but would you like to go? So we did, and ever since then we've been together. And we went. So we've been doing some other investigation, but this all started in Malvern Manor.
Oh,
So 30,
nice. That's a nice
yeah,
place.
30 miles west of Alaska is Malvern Manor. Is their Malvern, little town of Malvern. So we went there to investigate. The all five of us were sitting in a restaurant, and they're going, "Well, we need to come up with a name." I go, "We're going to wear one of our Paranormal Gurlz shirts." And I go, "No, I'm not. I'm not putting on that Paranormal Girl. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to wear Paranormal Gurlz on my chest." So Tanya sits there and goes, "How about Paranormal Gurlz dot 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 and Tim?" And then it was born. So actually, that's how it all started. So it's
Come on,
actually
Tim. You gotta wear pink. Real
no,
guys support pink.
no,
No,
not going to happen.
he said not gonna happen.
So
No, but it sounds like it's a great connection between the ladies and then you. You're showing them ways because
mhm,
you've worked. You've been doing this for a while. You're not a newbie, and
correct.
and what, Brenda? What I like to ask this to everyone: when you're out investigating, do you have a certain way of doing something specific that you love?
Mm,
Um, so what we always do, um, we we literally do everything in the dark. We walk through hallways, like everything
So no
is.
flashlight,
We have flashlights for like stairs,
right?
things like that. But for the majority of everything, it's like get accustomed to being in the dark, because you can see more in the dark, um, and things like that. So we definitely do everything in the dark. That's one reason why we don't do a lot of lives because we're in the dark. And when you're in the dark, you can't see anything but a black screen.
Right.
I have gotten a couple of black lights that we're trying to like import into it, but yeah, that's the one thing. The big thing that we do everything in the dark. We don't have a
mhm,
lot of lights on us. If you see us on camera, it's through night vision.
mhm,
Um, and then we also we document everything. So like if our chair creaks, if our stomach makes a noise, anything like that,
Right,
we
because it
always.
helps you when you're going over your audio, right?
correct.
Correct.
And
We
your
always, yeah, we always do
Yeah,
things like that. I don't know. What else do we always do? We record everything.
correct. Exactly. Yeah, as far as so, like Brendan said, we do it in the dark, and that was mainly something I had learned in the past over the years. Is
right,
that you let your eyes get you get your eye night vision going, and you can see
right.
better in the dark, and you will see more in the dark
Now
than
your
you will.
peripherals are open, right?
Correct. So if you don't, you got a flashlight on all the time, or you got a flashlight in your eyes. Your pupils dilate, and you don't see anything.
Yeah,
So
if
that's
someone turns it
yeah.
on in your face and then bam, and then you're like, now your eyes got to adjust again.
Correct. And so that's one of the things I tried to teach the group was not what night vision is. Of course, not everywhere can you do that. I mean, there's safety factor involved. You got to have a light so you can see what you're doing. That's one thing. Another thing we do a lot of Estes methods. That's something
Nice.
that we picked up on a lot more than what we did before. It's something that we're trying to do. And now one of the things I'm trying to get into is learn about the history of the place, and I'll learn about it, and Brenda learn about it. But then we have two people that work with us. They're all mediums and empaths. So with Brenda, and so what I do is I ask them questions in a room to see how close we can be to the actual fact of what's going on in the history of the building. So we
Right.
document that we're doing that type of thing. So that's something that we started doing that's interesting.
That's what's fascinating to me, Tim, is when we're in these old places, historical places, and we're investigating. I think we all think about it in our mind. If we could just like touch the wall, right, and
Mhm.
just go back into that time frame of what we're
Correct.
looking at. But to actually, we're creating history. So
Correct.
we're investigating history, and we're creating history for generations to come. That comes into the paranormal. It's going to be weird that one day we're going to be gone, and they're going to be
Mhm.
picking us up as that old person. Isn't that weird?
I walked over just to chime in really quickly. Something that Brenda said earlier, that they record everything.
Yeah.
And when we investigate as Paravisions, we do the same.
Right.
So it is not uncommon that Lee and I will spend the following day all day
Yeah.
reviewing our audio, because we'll have upwards of 6 or 7 hours, and then as well as I do that
Hey,
if you
Roger.
have, hey Roger, that if you have 6 hours, your review is probably going to take you 12 from all the time that you record. What was that? Did I hear that? And yeah, we do the same thing. Oh, that was my chair. Oh, that was my belly.
Mhm. Correct.
So yeah, I'm glad to hear other people do the same.
And
Correct.
hey Bianca, how's it going? And what else is when and you guys probably get it, Tim. You probably people says, "Hey man, I really would like to do what you do. This sounds so fun, right?" And when we do public hunts at a local place here in Waynesville, Ohio, at the Friends Museum, I do 3 classes a year.
Mhm.
And we have a lot of new people that's intrigued because they watch the shows or they like the history and they want to get more in depth into doing what we do. And I explained to them, it's not about just showing up at a cool place and doing an investigation.
Mhm.
There's more to it. And so I was like, tonight you're going to experience how we do things. And if you want to be more involved into, going over audio and stuff, turn your recorders on, listen. And then, some people are like, dude, I can't do what you do. That's just too much time. Well, we're, it's not a hobby. 30
Mhm.
years of doing this, it's not a hobby to me. It's a passion. It's part of my daily routine. We get up and brush our teeth. I love talking to ghosts. I'm an empath, so I love doing that. But it's not for everyone, and we've seen it where people come into these public hunts and they're terrified. They leave in minutes because they're like,
Mhm.
"Oh, this isn't like the TV." Well, no, TV, they put Hollywood on
Correct. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
What's up, Kyle? And this is Roger here. He says I have hours of video that I need to go through.
Mm.
Don't we all? I still have some. Love the friends home. I'm just catching up here, guys. Okay, there we go. So Patty's checking on the chime. And so on your podcast, Brenda,
Mhm.
you guys talk about your cases. So can you share one of your most recent cases that really stands out?
Um, well, we actually did 3 investigations in April. And we haven't even done those podcasts. Those are coming up later this month. So, that's for a different one. So going back prior to that, the one that stands out, I mean, they all stand out for their different reasons, but
Right.
the one that gets me that we end up talking about the most was last November when we went to the Garnett House in Kansas. That one was
Hello,
probably
Michelle.
so. Every time we do an investigation, we're like, "Oh my gosh, the experiences and the interaction we got was so insane." And then we go to another location, and it's even more than the last one.
Mhm.
And then we're talking, we get to talking, and then we're like, "This location made that location look like that location." You know what I mean?
Right. So I got a question on that.
Yeah.
We get more in depth. I don't care if you're brand new or if you've been doing it forever, but there's certain things that's like a recipe, right? That causes a great investigation. So, like you mentioned, you've got an investigation that you did back in November, and then you got this one and this, and it gets better and better because
Mhm.
for one, your recipe is getting stronger. because you got a team that's got great connection with energy, right?
Right.
And then you guys know how to read each other. And then you know things about certain people in the investigation. So you know, like, you know what Tim does. So when you go in your next investigation, just step back and watch yourself and go, wow, we do have a system. And it's like everywhere you go, you have a system. But the investigation part gets better and better and better. And so, so I just wanted to chime in on that to share with others.
Yeah, and that's totally true. So,
Hey, Lacey.
so we went to Garnett. We met the owner there. We did a small tour. I asked about the entity that resides in this location, and doing so, all of a sudden something happened. The floor under us vibrated, like it literally shook the house.
What were you guys talking about at that moment? Hello, David.
I asked who the entity was in the house.
Okay.
I'm like, tell me who this entity is. And at that time, there was a loud boom, the floor vibrated, and I looked at the owner and I'm like, what was that? And he gets this really weird smile on his face and he goes, oh, the doll is now behind you on the floor. And the Raggedy Ann doll came off the fireplace mantle. And Tim said it came out about a foot and then like was thrown. Yeah. It didn't fall off. It was thrown. And then Tanya, one of our other team members, her and Tim went upstairs to set up some cameras. And as she's walking through the door, a old metal wall thermometer that's flush with the wall came off. And like, that startled her. She jumped and screamed, of course. They tried to debunk it. We tried to debunk the doll. And of course,
did you happen to have a camera on the doll or anywhere in that area?
We did.
After that, we did. That's why we learned to record always.
Right. See, you learn something from each investigation.
Exactly. So that in itself was super terrifying for me. Like I had to leave the room. I had to regain my composure. I've not had anything like that happen before. The investigation itself as a whole in that location was pretty intense, like all night. Pretty intense.
That's the kind of night I like. I like to have goosebumps the whole entire night.
Yeah.
Stop. I just want to keep going. You know, and we all get into this where, okay, if you can do that one more time, we'll leave, right? And it's like, how many times do you think of the spirit? How many times are you going to ask me that, and you're going to leave me alone?
We use apps, and 9 times out of 10, we get things that do coincide with the location. I know a lot of people don't like to use apps, but the responses and stuff we get, they do coincide with that.
If it backs up something that is documented, have you ever tried? And I'm sure you have 2 different apps at one time to see if you get this thing, just like you would use like a PSB7 to another type of voice record spirit box, just to see what kind, an Ovilus to it, PSB7, just to see if it documents, right?
So we do that, and we also run multiple devices, like dead bells, K2s, and things like that to work on that.
Now I tell you what, you nailed it when you said dead bell. Let me tell you a story about the dead bell. I was intrigued when I saw it first time. We were at the Rhodes Hotel in Indiana, and they had one there set up as, when you go in to check into the hotel. So they put one there. So they said, you guys can use it through the night, turn it on. They love it in there. Well, we used it. And I was picking up this man and woman, and I didn't know if they lived there, but they were visiting there. And we were all sitting in those 2 rooms. I don't know if you guys ever been to the Rhodes Hotel.
No.
Mm-mm.
Really cool place. You definitely want to check it out. And that thing was going off on command. And what else blew me away was the multi-tap. So I was like, okay, you can tap it, but I really want to hear tap, 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 tap. And I'm like, whoa, I literally wanted to leave the room. Because I was like, this is, because I'm behind this counter where you would come in, and it was up there, but it was all the way over on the other side. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm facing the other way. And I was like, if you can tap it like double taps or triple, and it did. So the dead bell to me is one that you gotta have.
Yeah. So anyway, back to finish that little thing. We got the phrase "even ghosts roll their eyes," and we've not gotten it since. We never got
Even ghost roll. That is
even
really,
ghosts roll their eyes. Yep. Yep.
and
And I was like,
that's still like, come on, you've had enough, right?
yeah, and I'm like that is just hilarious that it happens. Dead Bell experiences, yeah, that was great. I had seen it like on shows, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And then we did a collab last summer at Ashmore Estates, and one of the guys that came had a dead bell. So then we got to experience the dead bell firsthand. And I was like, oh, I got to get me one of those. I got to get me one of those. And then Tim got one. So now we have two, and we'll both turn them on at the same time.
Right.
And we had one location where we're both holding them in our hands like this, not touching anything. And his would go off, then mine would go off. And it was like ding, 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 ding. And we were sitting across the room from each other. It was really cool. I love the dead bell.
Yeah, that's one to definitely keep. Oh, so Patty had a question in here since she's over there checking the chat room. So how many girls make up the PG?
We have 4. We have myself, Kathy, who is an empath. I have empath sensitivity things. And then we have Tanya, who's our medium, and Misty, who is our channeler with medium capability capabilities or
all on the spiritual level.
Yeah. Tim, even though he says he does have certain empath or sensitivity levels, and I think the more he hangs out with us, the more he,
you'll definitely open that up.
They develop, yeah.
And you know what? And this is something else that I tell people: when you're investigating with a group of people that's been doing it, because we are so in tune when we're in a location, when we're going over audio, we're so in tune to the sounds. And when you have someone in your group that just wanted to come on with you, tag along, and you guys are like, did you hear that? And you guys say what you heard, and that person's like, okay, you've been saying this for an hour, and I don't hear anything you hear.
Correct.
So that means, in my opinion, I feel like as we're doing this investigating the unknown, we are picking up more, and we're opening these up, right? So we all have the empath ability. It's just taking these away, because these days everybody lives in a fast-paced world to where nobody wants to relax. You don't see families sitting at dinner tables anymore and talking about it. Everything is so like boom, 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 boom. So it is fascinating, because I see that all the time when we have somebody brand new. They're like, I don't hear anything you're hearing. And then all of a sudden you get a big, like the doll fell and you hear a boom. Did you hear that? Yeah, I heard that, but I'm not hearing the stuff you guys are hearing. You guys are creeping me out.
True.
For sure.
So where are you guys based out of?
Iowa.
Okay.
Iowa, yep.
So you guys have a lot of cool locations out that way.
We have our share, yes.
So you're near Valeska, right?
About an hour and a half from Bliska. I live in Winterset, which is hometown of John Wayne. Get the plug
Oh,
in.
heck
So
yeah,
anyway,
you're my friend now, dude. That's
yeah.
so.
Well, the only two things we have in common, we both born in the same town. So Villisca's about an hour and a half away, and Malvern's about 2 hours away from
Right.
here, from where I live. So it's just all 2-lane highway out in the middle of nowhere in eastern Iowa or western Iowa, so as far as it goes. So yeah, and Brenda, they're all up in Monroe and Des Moines and Ankeny, so forth. That's where they live. So
Nice. So, so you guys aren't that far apart.
no, absolutely not.
That's good. That's good. Because I love the name. I love
Hmm.
Brenda's background thing. That's cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. We had
Yeah.
we had a guest on, had one. She made that up for us. That's pretty cool.
That is super cool that she made it.
I
Yeah.
actually made that one.
Oh, did you?
The one she made for Tim, I sent to Tim so he
Yeah.
can use it. But yeah,
Yeah.
I made this one. So
Nice.
yeah.
I don't know.
Nice.
I'll have to change the. I might have to change the pink. I'm not sure about that.
put it all teal or the blue.
I sprayed her to lean over again.
Brenda, Patty asked if you don't mind leaning over again. She was wanting to read your.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, see, so Tim's name is not in pink.
No, so she said Tim's name's not in pink, so you're good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I actually have a storage thing behind me, shelving unit that's all crafts, and I'm trying to not have those in the podcast anymore.
Well, she's my best friend.
Now Patty says you're her best friend because she does crafts, she crochets.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, the crafty stuff. Now I do like to go to the craft stores with her if they got cool stuff, but it's not craft stuff. Like I'll go to like Hobby Lobby if they have like cool things that I like signs for my office or things like that. I'm there, but other than that, no.
Gotcha.
I'm not talented to do none of that stuff.
No, gotcha.
Except run my mouth.
Mm.
That's why I do podcasts.
Exactly.
Exactly, right? And I'm having fun talking about my favorite stuff, paranormal.
Right. For sure.
Tim, I would ask you, what got you into the paranormal since you've been doing it a while?
Well, so what happened was I was really a skeptic because I believed the paranormal existed, but I'd never seen anything in my life that was paranormal, hadn't experienced or anything. So I was like, okay, is this real? So I decided to buy a night vision camera and a digital recorder. I'm going to go find a ghost, here we go. So I go to Missouri State Penitentiary.
Oh, good Lord. That's where you went to take off?
It's there, and I think it's cool, right? And so we do an overnight, a public investigation overnight. So I'm in there during the middle of the night, and I'm starting to figure out how this thing works. Well, I didn't realize my camera would shut off after 3 minutes. So I'm down in the dungeon on building 4, and then pitch black, and my camera goes out. So I'm like,
oh no.
So I'm fumbling around. I don't have a flashlight. I get it back on later on. I figured it out. My biggest thing was, is there paranormal? I was curious. I was really, really curious to know. Then I went to Branson and I met up with some people there that ran a tour group. I got involved. I got to know them. And then, so it's in June, Christmas. I got his phone number. So I text this guy. I say, hey, Merry Christmas. He texts back, who the hell's this? And I'm like, oh, Villisca Tim. And he goes, oh, yeah, I talked about Villisca. He says, we're coming to Iowa. You want to go on investigation? Yeah, sure. So they were doing private investigation in a private home over here in southeast Iowa. So I went with them thinking, okay, here we go. I'm going to do my second investigation to see what happens.
Right.
That incident in that house changed my whole aspect of the paranormal.
Oh, wow. And it wasn't.
I saw things. I heard things. I actually have a video of a white light flying across the room into an ovulus, and the ovulus goes dead. We got footage of the baby ovulus dead. I got all this footage. After that night, I was hooked, and I've been hooked ever since. I did a lot of private investigations and all, but my biggest thing, I wanted to know what's out there. It's a paranormal real. Right. Now that I know that it is, I've been looking for 14 years for the next thing. What's going to bring me the next thing in paranormal that's keeping my interest? Well, obviously, it's worked for a long time.
Right.
And I've been to a couple locations that I tell you what, when you go there, you find what you're looking for, and maybe you didn't want to go there. So,
Right. Maybe you didn't want to
anyway,
knock on the door.
yeah, so I had some experiences in a hotel in Missouri, and which brought me to light, which actually got me in with the demonologist doing things to learn what's really going on in this world. There's in paranormal, I won't want to say there's a dark side and a light side, but
Right.
there is. It exists. It's out there. BU,
I tell you,
the theory, and when you're alive and you're human, or you're a bad person when you die, your spirit a bad person type thing. That theory's there. Is there demons of whatever? So we don't call everything demons because that's a little crazy to do so, but does that all exist? And I have learned over my 14 years, I've experienced it all. I've seen and experienced, witnessed, been touched, been pushed, been all kinds of things have happened to my 14-year career. So now it's get in the truck. That's our motto. You want to go ghost hunting, get in the truck, because I will go every day if you want to go every day.
me too, dude. If I could get paid to do it, I would be doing it full time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But that's what got me started. Was I was just more curiosity than anything. And that, like everybody else, I watched all the shows that came on TV, all the paranormal shows, Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures. I watched them all.
Yeah.
And the more I watched them, the more it was like, pretty soon, now that I think I got more ghost hunting equipment than my car's worth right at the moment. So anyway.
I'm with you on that. I'll have to admit it. A garage behind me here, in front of me over here.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And you want it, and then sometimes you're like, it wasn't that good.
Right.
But you got it. And back to, you watch all the shows. I still watch the shows, go onto the apps and watch
Sure.
them. And I'm so ready. After it's over with, I'm ready to go find something to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
It just gets that fire going again,
Right. Get about halfway through that 37 minutes, I'm ready to go back out. So.
Yeah, exactly. And back to when you said, you're waiting for that next I call it the oh shit experience.
Mm-hmm.
Because the guy on my team, Jim Wilson, he went through it. He loves the history. He loves being with us and doing it. But he's really never had a no shit experience until we were in Waynesville at a dance studio, and for younger girls. And we're in the basement. And he's standing at the bottom of the steps, and he's doing real time audio. And he's got his microphone, his recorder. He's at the bottom steps, and he's not looking up there, but he's got it that way because we're all down there, and I'm around the other one, and I'm just asking questions. And he heard footsteps, and he said, as he turned to look up, he saw this like black shadow, like a child, run across the doorway of the basement upstairs, and it flipped him out. And he caught several things that night. I mean, he literally walked outside. He had to get fresh air. All the years he's been doing it since 2005 with me. He goes, dude, I don't know if you guys were punking me, setting things up, or was I supposed to? I was like, Jim, you were supposed to be here tonight, and that kid or whatever that was meant to happen, and it freaked him out. And now, like I tell people too, it's like fishing. You catch that big fish, you won't go out and catch a bigger one.
Exactly.
So now he's ready to get that next fish.
Now I'm to the point where I want to go to places because I know there's experiences. I know things happen.
Right.
So we're trying to get into bigger places to go, like Indiana State, and we're coming up with a podcast. We had something really cool happen there. You need to watch that podcast because that was.
Tag me in it when you guys post it, and I will definitely want to come over.
It'll be May 30th.
Correct.
When you do your podcast, I used to make it an event, but when you guys get it out there in the comment, just tag my name so I can make sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I love that. I'm so into hearing other people's stories, because in the paranormal we got a bad name sometimes, don't we? Where the egos are bigger than, and people are scared to post their findings because they're afraid of what other people are going to think. And it's like, you know what? You weren't there. We're sharing what we gathered, and there was a group of us. It wasn't just one of us. I wish things would be different, but it's the world we live in today. to where
Yeah.
everybody gets butt hurt, and we can't move forward because we're always in that paradrama
Mhm.
some way somehow. And I just want to see people move forward. That's why I love networking. This is my way of networking with people is the podcast. And you
Sure.
guys have noticed that, right? Doing your podcast, you network, you become friends with people. Then I'm watching your stuff. I'm all, it's like that's networking,
Mhm.
and just learning from people is the best.
Good.
The best. Yeah.
It is.
Uh,
Yep.
Patty, got any questions? You do?
No, I was just chiming in that way because it's easier than running back.
Okay.
Hmm.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing. You guys, if you have any questions, is it okay if they have questions, I'll just bring them up and they'll ask if they have any questions to you guys. I had a couple questions as they both were talking, and I should have wrote them down.
Um,
What's that?
I'm just thinking.
Oh, I had some questions for you. I like to talk about equipment
Okay.
because I'm big into equipment, and I know you are, Tim. But you said you got more than what your car's worth.
Mhm.
And we all have our go-to. So, Tim, what is your go-to piece of equipment when you go out?
So my biggest thing, I go back to my basic when I started, my camcorder and my digital recorder, running them at the same time, because that's where I'm going to get the most evidence from. But the thing I like using the most when I can, and I'm going to start using it more, is my SLS. I love my SLS. I was just fascinated to get one. I got one, and I like how it works. It takes a little practice to get it done, but my basic is what's in my hand, a K2 meter, a REM pod. I think setting that stuff out, because if you take out everything you got that'll make a noise or turn a light on and you surround yourself with it, something's going to happen. I
Right.
mean, it literally is. But those are my basic is what I started with. Those are my two favorite things.
And that's why I like to investigate with new people that I've never investigated with because, we all have the same basic types of equipment, the REM pod, the K2s, the camera. But what I love and what's fascinating is people they teach me new ways to use that stuff. Like I never thought about using it that way.
Good.
And trust me, if somebody does, I'll put them out there. Like you are the one that made me a game changer because I was thinking about putting this piece of equipment aside because I wasn't doing any good with it. And then all of a sudden, I see someone use it, and I'm like, wait, that one was on the edge of me just putting in the case and just calling it done.
Yeah.
And now seeing somebody use it is just phenomenal.
Correct. And I'm real favorite my dead bell. That thing, I have it out all the time since
I think a lot of people are with you on that, Tim.
Correct. And we were in the basement. We were getting the dueling dead bells. That's what I call it, because we were 6 feet apart and the bells are just alternating, ringing back and forth. That was interesting. So
What were you going to ask, Patty?
I was just going to ask them, do they ever set up at like conventions?
Oh, do you guys ever do conventions or you set up your podcast? Have you guys ever thought about doing any of those?
We have not gotten into any convention, Paracon things yet.
Right.
It's probably going to be on our books for 2027.
correct.
We have gotten asked to join a Paracon for next year. So
Okay.
that's something that we are working towards and start getting into some Paracons. Being in the Midwest, I think there's like 3 in the Midwest. Otherwise, we have to travel out to the East Coast or whatever.
Right. Or a majority of them happen, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Right. And I haven't done any in a while. I go to them. But I'm just like, you know what? I can set up, but if I wouldn't set up my team, I would set up my podcast. So when people are walking by, and I'd have a camera on, and then after I'm done, I would edit it and give it to the hosts of the show, so they can put it on and then show it for next year. Because I'm like, I don't feel like setting up a booth and putting out my t-shirts because because we're part of the Taps family, even though they're not on TV, we're still part of them.
Mm.
And we have to go in a professional way. And the
Mhm.
shirts that we have, I can't sell those. So I can't do that unless I make up some shirts, which people do. But I don't have no crafty, not in any brain power in here to do something. Like, what can I put on my table to sell?
Mm.
I'm just gonna give it away. You know,
Gotcha.
yeah. So like the little wristbands, when I bought those, a bunch of those, the stretchy band, yeah. And I put my
Mm.
name on them just like that, and I give those out at the table. I'm like, here, just take one.
I got in there somewhere.
Yeah, because they're like, I love them. They're cool, And I was like, yeah, the green because our colors are black and green, and the logo behind that I have set up is our Paravisions. And Vinny that runs Dark Side Ink. He's been doing Dark Side Ink. He makes shirts and all kinds of stuff. He does all the TV shows.
Mm.
So for all their T-shirts and hats, he makes all of it. And he was at an event with us back in 2010, 11. And he goes, Lee, what do you want me to make you a logo of? And I was like, dude, I would love to have PV because I love Monster Energy. I said, in their font, if we can use it. And I said, but just come up with something cool. So the gargoyles, he made one and he flipped it this way. And then he got permission from Monster Energy to use their font. And that's cool. So the PV glows in the dark. So, thinking outside the box. And he's just an awesome dude. If you ever get a chance, check out Dark Side Ink. He can make some really cool shirts.
Mm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I support him 100%. His name's Vinny. He's in Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Fall River. Sorry, Fall River. I think he's
Mm.
still in Fall River, isn't he?
I think so, or at least very close.
Yeah, he's right there in Fall River, right there where Fall River is Lizzie Borden house.
Okay, Lizzie Borden, yeah.
Yeah. That's if you guys go out east, you got to go there.
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
That's one that you definitely want to check out.
Gotcha.
Now, what are some of the locations that you guys been? Now, let me just step back because I was just trying to ask two questions at the same time. Do you do a lot of residential cases?
We
Wait,
have
go
only
ahead.
done one as Paranormal Gurlz. We've only done one residential. Um,
And,
the
and those touch your heart, don't they? Because when you got a family that's in need of,
Mhm.
you want to. We all have busy lives. We all have our own lives. We got our own families. But when
Correct.
someone reaches out to you and they've got issues going on, and especially if there's kids involved,
Correct.
you want to put your heart and soul into it because
Yeah.
I've investigated some homes and they're like, yeah, we want this to happen, and I'm like, no, you don't.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
You got two kids. You don't want this to happen.
So
exactly.
yeah, Tim and I have done several residential cases, and you don't know, Tim and I are brother and sister.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. He's the oldest.
Yep.
I'm the youngest. Um,
Well, now you guys know.
yeah. So him and I, we've
Okay.
done several residential cases.
Mhm.
But my team loves to do locations. They're like,
Yeah,
we don't really want to do the residential. Not that they don't want to help people out. They just prefer locations, which is totally fine. And then I don't know, Tim, how many residentials have you done?
Oh, that's hard to count. Oh, Jiminy, since 2006, oh gosh, 2013, I've probably done 24 residential homes. And the biggest problem with doing residential is they don't call you until it's too late or
right,
they're absolutely moved out or they're scared to death, whatever.
right. And then but you know what? I think it's a lot of people that have those issues. They
Mhm.
don't they don't know who to reach out to
Correct,
until someone they talk to says, "Hey, have you ever watched any paranormal shows?"
correct,
Right. But I
exactly.
can understand, Brenda, the team wanting to do locations, because we always had that conversation. We would get inundated with residentials.
Mhm.
But then it was like, let's just go somewhere where it can just be the team and we can,
Just relax from a
yeah,
residential case
Sure.
and be like your Paranormal Girls where they just want to do, locations. That right there, when we started doing that, because we were so busy. God, I bet you I've done thousands of residential cases because, with the show. And they get sent to me because I do Ohio. And then I
Mhm.
did Kentucky. And, and everybody wants to be on the Ghost Hunter show. So I was getting all these calls, and I'm like,
Um,
we still have to go out, right?
yeah,
And that's what we signed up for. And,
correct.
but then when we got so busy with all of these cases, because word of mouth, finally it's like, hey, we're going to go to Mansfield Reformatory. Hey, we're going to go to Waverly Hills. We got
Mhm.
the place. And finally it's like, let's have some fun because
Mhm.
we're being serious, but we're still being serious there just as much as we are in a residential case because we
Sure.
want to capture something cool.
Mhm.
Uh, and yeah, so that's what it's about. It's just having fun, but also taking care of those people that really need you. Because I have I have my own opinion, and we years ago on our own show, looking into the unknown, um, I had a shaman on the show, and he brought something to light that really touched me. And he was talking about these locations that we go to, we pay and play, right? And he said, Lee, he said, these places are being investigated 24/7. Think of how much a spirit like you, if you
Mhm.
was in there, that they were coming to your house every night,
Every night.
24/7, you're going to release that beast, and
Correct.
someone's going to get hurt eventually, right?
Correct.
Something's going to happen where we're out there, and we're like, wait, let's go back to what we said. If you can do it again, I'll leave you alone.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm going to show you I'm going to leave you alone because,
Mhm.
that can happen anytime.
Mhm.
Correct.
Energy. Just like what you said, Tim. Demons, angels. It's if you believe in God, you got to believe in all that.
Exactly. That's fact. Yes.
And so even though you may not experience something in your life, we all have experienced something in our life. It may not be as dark, but we lose
Mhm.
loved ones. That's
Correct.
hard.
Correct.
We lose our job. We whatever. We lose a
Mhm.
friend over Facebook. I mean, we all go through something terrible,
Mhm.
and that is that evil thing here on the earth that's doing that to us
Mhm. Correct.
because we're only here for a short time, right? So
Yeah.
let's
I
have fun
com-
while we're doing
I completely agree with you on that because I've seen the dark side of the paranormal, and it's not a pretty thing to look at. Or
No, it's not. It's
you
not
do
pretty.
want to experience if you don't have to, but you never know. Going to a location, you never know what you're going to run into, what you might be there, what you might experience. Maybe your energy creates something. Maybe the people there before create. I mean,
Right.
that's what we
That,
don't know enough about paranormal world to understand what makes everything trigger the way it does. One of the
right.
reasons why we do it. I mean, we want to know.
Right. You got to take in perspective moon phases, and you got to take in perspective, like you just said, Tim, someone's energy that was there the night before, and now it's your turn to be in there tonight.
Correct.
It's the group of people you're with.
Correct.
Mhm.
A lot of
You know,
times.
like, I tell people too when we do residentials, like our team, I was like, hey, I know you had a bad week. It's a Friday or Saturday night when we do these investigations, but you got to leave that stress that you had at work. You got to leave it
Mhm.
there at your car before you step out to go into this house
Exactly.
because we got to put full attention on this family.
Exactly.
And that's hard to do sometimes,
It is.
but we got to do it.
Correct.
It's just part of life. And
Correct.
yeah, so I tell them, because when you go in there, or like dropping your fear cage, watch, especially women pregnant, teenagers,
Mhm.
they can be targeted.
Correct.
I think anyone that appears weak in the least will be targeted.
Yeah, Patty says I feel like anybody weak would
Mhm.
be targeted, and
Sure.
I agree
Exactly.
because I've only dealt with one. I don't want to call it, like you said, you know, you don't like it either, the word demon, but it was dark.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a case that I did 12, 13 years ago here locally. It was a residential case to where the family called us in. Their daughter, 14 years old, was experiencing this dark stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she just came home from Mexico from visiting her grandmother. And the husband told me that, yes, in Mexico, there's a lot of churches that worship the devil.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother was one of them that went to one of those churches. And I told her, if my daughter comes to Mexico to visit you, she cannot be involved. Well, she got involved.
Gotcha.
So he showed me some videos from an RCA VHS of what he captured his daughter. Blew me away, guys. And I'm going to share it here. I've never shared this before. His daughter was sitting on her bed and she was leaned up against her headboard. She had her knees up. Her bed, I'm setting you into place. Her bed is against the wall, and right almost at the foot of her bed is her window. She had her window open because he was explaining to me as we were watching. He goes, watch her drapes. They're just thin drapes. They're going to move, and they're going to come over her feet. They're going to go back. And this is on the second floor of this house. And he's at the door. And what caught him to do this is because his daughter was acting weird. She was talking, and he said tongue. And he grabs the camera and he's recording this. A couple minutes later into this, probably not minutes, the drape, like something came from outside through the drape, and it like grabbed his face. You saw the face, you saw a hand, and you saw a knee. And he goes, this thing goes over her legs, and you saw a foot indentation on the bed, and then you hear boom onto the floor, and he runs away because he felt like something was coming at him.
Mm.
And I'm like, I'm sitting there watching this, and he showed me another episode where she came home from school and she was laying across their bed, and he videoed something grabbing her ankles because they were hanging off the side of the bed. It took her and threw her across the bed and across their dresser. And as it was doing it, it was talking in tongue. And I'm like, dude, I really did. I said, here's what I told him, and I'm going to be honest. I was like, I'm a paranormal investigator, but I think I'm going to come in here and do what I can do. We're going to come in, we're going to just document some things. I'm going to sage your house. I'm going to cleanse your house.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to try to reach out to an archdiocese because they said they're Catholic. And I was like, there's a Catholic church right down the street.
Mm.
We did get them involved. But we were there investigating that house, 3 of us. And we were all nervous, but I was like, guys, we got to keep that cage upright. We don't want that fear showing because this is something really serious.
Correct.
And at first we thought, okay, well, she's not in the house tonight. The husband is, and the kid and the wife's not. So let's just be straight, and maybe it's not here. Maybe it's following her. Well, one of the guys opened up the closet door that's right at the foot of the steps and heard this noise and then this weird sound, and this light came flying like it was real big, and then as it gets close, it just goes to a flat line, and then it goes shoo, and he closed that door, and I could see a light in front of him. I was like, what was that, dude? And as soon as he turned and looked at me, we left. We went out there. We was in the street. We were talking to him. I was like, okay, I'm going to be 100% honest. This is beyond me just doing recordings, doing video, doing trigger objects. We know there's something here. We feel the energy. And so anyways, the church got involved, helped them out a little bit, but mom and dad got a divorce. I kept in touch, and the mother moved, and then I think the dad moved to Mexico. And I was like, oh no, he went the wrong way because he knows what's going to happen when he gets there. But yeah, that stuff is real. I tell people that is real. That's the only case I've really dealt with anything that dark.
Correct.
Other than just picking up history. And when I hear things on recorders,
Mm-hmm.
A digital recorder's files, so it's coming through frequencies, right, high and low. But when we get it, a lot of people want to jump saying, "Oh, that's demonic." No, it may not be demonic. It's just a file that it's going through.
Correct. Files.
Or if it's super clear and it sounds it. We all had that grumpy grandpa or grumpy uncle.
Yeah. Correct.
Like it may be your uncle coming through. Oh God, him really? Yes.
Yeah.
That's why he's coming through. He's grumpy.
Correct. Yeah. For sure.
But yeah. So you just never know. Like you said, Tim, on TV, you don't know what you're walking into.
You don't. You never do. Nope.
No. So do you guys do like prayers before and after investigations?
Yeah. I'll let Tim talk about what he does because he's an ordained minister.
So, being an ordained minister, I do my own prayers. I do my own talking with God, and so we have an understanding of what's going to happen. Protection. My house had been blessed so many times by myself and so forth, but I do my own as far as that goes, and I've been pretty successful in being taught. Like I said, I work with a demonologist who taught me a lot about the bad side and the good side of things. So I learned from that and have experience. So yes, that's what I do. I have my own way of doing things. So
well, we need people like you, Tim, in this field, to be that kind of person instead.
Yeah.
Because St. Christopher, he was a warrior, right? So we have to have people like that here on our end. What better place to do it is in the paranormal.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
And then
appreciate you. Go ahead, Brenda.
I was gonna say for our team, we have pendants, blessed pendants, and then we do a protection prayer before, and then when we're done, we do another one, and we have smudging spray.
Oh, nice.
That we use as well, and we do carry crystals, protection crystals as well. So
yeah, Patty carries your dad's, right? It's a tiger's eye stone. And what's fascinating about stones is I tell people, they're like, "Oh, get me one." No, stones find you. You don't find stones. Like when you walk into a metaphysical shop, you may think in your head you want, and it may be that it's a magnetic charge that you want that certain one. But then, like me, when I go into them, I've got a little baggie that I put in my pocket of the ones that I carry. Mm-hmm. I didn't pick those; they picked me. Mm-hmm. Now, if we wanted to go with looks, they're not anything to look at. One's like a black piece of coal. Like it's not what I wanted.
Like the tourmaline,
yeah, the tourmaline and stuff. But it's like that's not what I would have picked.
Right.
That's what picked me because I kept going back over to it. Yeah. It was like a charge. And the guy even said, he goes, that's what's going to happen. He says, you're looking at something that doesn't match you. Mm-hmm. You need to go to what matches you. And I was like, that is just so fascinating with stones.
Yeah, right. You look in that vicinity and you see there'll be one specific one that'll be like, pick me. And when you pick it up, I always have to pick it up with my left hand, and then that energy goes up my elbow. It just goes sing, and I'm like, that's my piece.
That's the one, right? So it's like you got this whole tray of them, and that one right there is standing out like a big shiny diamond. Mm-hmm. That's your diamond.
Yep.
Yeah. And Patty's had her dad's tiger eye for how long?
What's it? 14, probably.
2014, right around. Yeah.
I never knew he had it.
She never knew her dad had it. And I was like, wow, see, that's just so fascinating how stones, I just love it. Gotcha. Well, guys, we appreciate you guys coming on. Is there anything, let me go back. Where can people find you guys, your podcast, your team?
So Paranormal Gurlz and Tim is on Facebook. Facebook wouldn't let me do the ... and Tim. So it's Facebook, or it's Paranormal Gurlz and Tim. We're on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. those are all Paranormal Gurlz and Tim on all of those podcasts, Sundays and Wednesdays. Most of the time, 7 Central, sometimes 6 Central, depending on if we have East Coasters on the show. And those stream out to Facebook and YouTube. We have video. I put out short reels all the time to YouTube and TikTok, and then I'm behind, but I'm trying to get investigation videos out on YouTube as well.
Right. Well, after the show, before I log out of YouTube, I'm going to go in. I'm going to make sure I follow you guys.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And try to keep me posted on your shows, because I would love to come in and just listen. I just love to hear everybody's stories.
So
Sure.
Originally we were doing our haunts series on Sundays. But then when we changed over to the Deep Dive podcast, I started scheduling people on Sundays too, not leaving us a Sunday to do a review.
Right.
So now we have to throw in another day.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a good time. Because you love talking, you love networking. You guys are good people. I'm glad to meet you tonight. And Brenda, I want to let you know, I've been picking up this young girl beside you tonight. I don't know if you feel like you got a connection with the young girl that's past, but I want to say like 10 to 12 years old. I feel her connection.
Well, you might have to tell me more about this girl, because I don't know. I do know in April we did a 2-day, 2 location investigation, and going over footage or evidence. I do know that we were at Billy Creek, and in the cabin there was a thing that came across, the little girl likes you.
Oh.
And then when we were in the Civil War house, or the farmhouse, they call it, there was also a little girl there that was interacting. I've got so much going on, I don't even pay attention if there's anything going on around me or not.
Right.
At the moment. But anyway, I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, so I felt that like she was with you, and that could have been where she's from, and she's just still, attached to some extent. But yeah, she looks at you like a motherly figure.
Yeah.
And let me see, so she would be on your right-hand side.
She's over here.
Yeah. Because sometimes I'll see like how your setup is of the ghost back there on that, and then she's like right below it where that seat is.
Okay.
And so she comes and goes, and I feel her energy. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. And again, thank you guys so much for coming on to the show.
Oh, thank you.
We had a blast. I will reach back out to you guys at the end of the year and have you guys come back on and see how things are going through 2026.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Right. We look forward to it.
Look forward to it. Yes.
Thank you so much for allowing us.
You guys have a wonderful night and a good week.
Okay. You too.
All right.
You do well.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, guys, thank you guys so much for coming on. We appreciate you guys joining us for the last hour. Go check them out, Paranormal Gurlz Tim, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Also, check out their podcast. That's on Sundays and Wednesdays. I know I will. Just great energy right there. I like to network with people, talk, get to know them. And guys, thank you so much for all your support. Thanks to Roger. Thanks to Taylor. Thanks to Kyle, to Jake, Rebecca, Michelle. I'm just trying to go through all the list here that chimed in and said hi. I know I did see, and I'm going to miss it, and I'm not. David, thank you, David, if you're still listening. Lacey, thank you for coming in. I just want to give a shout out to everybody. Bianca, and Carl Monroe, retired guy now. Thanks everybody for stopping in. We appreciate it. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. I may come on next week and just chit chat. But I'm going to I've been talking about it and I do have some notes, but I want to do some new things and cool things on the show. So you guys have a wonderful week, a wonderful weekend, and always keep looking into the unknown, guys. Have a good evening.